I have a very special relationship with gratitude because gratitude knocked my door at a time when I was knocked off by life itself. A terrible heartbreak. Welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be divided into two parts. In the first part, I'm going to tell you a real life incident that happened to me that actually made me believe in the law of attraction. The second part, I'm going to tell you how you can use this power of manifestation to your advantage. The year was 2015 and everybody would imagine that the beginning of the year would be really fun, but I was stupid enough to get my heart broken. I wanted to get back into feeling normal. I mean, heartbreaks do happen to people, right? And they do bounce back. Sometimes you like people who don't like you back, and that's okay. You are just supposed to move on. But silly me decided to do otherwise. At this point, I couldn't believe that this had happened to me. Of all the people, I couldn't take the rejection. I felt really heartbroken. I felt rejected and I felt terrible about the entire situation. That's when I got a chance to go abroad for the first time. And most people would feel excited, right, about going abroad for the first time. It's such a golden opportunity. But instead, I was sulking away and drowning in the pool of self-pity. I was focusing on all the wrong things and I didn't want to go on this trip at all. But somehow my mom convinced me that I should definitely take this trip, and my friends also felt that I could use this distance to get over this entire heartbreak and just move on with my life. It was a family trip to Singapore, and instead of enjoying my journey, I was sulking throughout the way. I was crying in the airport, I was crying in the bus, and every time I would come back to the hotel room, I would be bursting out into tears thinking about everything that happened. I was feeling really lonely because heartbreaks have this tendency to give you this feeling of void, this unnecessary feeling of loneliness where you begin to question everything. I basically hit rock bottom. Saying all this is actually quite difficult for me because it requires me to go back to those old bitter memories that I never want to think about. But of course, there would be some judgy people out there who think otherwise. Let me tell you, this is not easy for me at all. Of course, I'm over it now, but I'm recollecting all of this only because I want to tell you what happened next, which is the interesting part. I remember that in college I had watched The Secret movie, and in that they said that just writing things that you're grateful for instantly puts you in a good mood. Of course, I had my doubts like any other person that how is such a simple thing going to work for me? How is such a tiny, minute change going to make such a huge difference in the way I'm feeling? Because I was feeling miserable. But I thought nothing else is working, I might as well try this and see. I mean, I had nothing to lose at that point. So I was on the bus and we had this travel time in between going to different tourist spots, and I decided to use that time to try this experiment out. So I took my phone, I checked the notes app, and I started writing my gratitude in there. I wrote, thank you for this amazing trip, thank you for the complimentary breakfast, thank you for that ride in the amusement park, thank you for all the nice things that's been happening on this trip. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to travel to Singapore, something not everyone gets. And I kept writing this for the next 2-3 days, and it actually made a difference to my mood. You know, when you're on a trip, it's always nice to have someone of your age who will enjoy the same things as you do. Single children will probably understand this better. So that was a situation that happened to me. I was with my parents, and being the only child, I had no companion with me. So there was this one girl on the trip, and she was around my age, and I really wanted to befriend her. She seemed like a really cool person, so I wrote to the universe, thank you so much universe for finding a friend for me in this very trip. And that made this trip even better. Although at that point that didn't really happen up till that point. So the next stop was Malaysia, and somehow the tables turned, my mood became better, and that girl and I, we started talking and we became friends during the trip. The exact thing that I wanted to manifest. And I was quite happy at that point. I stopped crying and things became so much better for me. We snuck out of our hotel room in the middle of the night without even telling our parents, and we roamed around the entire hotel. We went on these little rides in this casino hotel that was there in Malaysia, and we had so much fun during that trip. I was so happy. Now, I'm not the most social person. I'm not someone who would just go up to someone and just befriend them. So this was like a big deal to me. This was something totally out of my comfort zone, something I never really do, and it was pretty cool for Nandita. This was the first time since childhood where I kept my inhibitions aside and tried to befriend someone, and that too in a foreign land. As I started enjoying the trip, I kept writing more and more gratitude. Even if it was the smallest of things, I felt like the universe was doing all this for me just to ensure that I become more happy. that mental frequency that I was giving out to the universe as a result of not being in that good feeling place, that had changed. Turns out that the gratitude I was writing actually rewired my brain and helped me think in a much more positive manner and see the best in every situation. Me taking photographs and lots of them, enjoying the sights and the sounds, the tourist places. It was so much fun. And I made sure that I thanked the universe for every little thing that happened during the trip. Because I felt like the universe was doing all this just to make me happy. The final stop was Thailand. By the time I reached there, I was already in a great place. I was feeling much better. I wasn't thinking about this person at all. No, I wasn't thinking about the heartbreak or any of those things at all. And I was feeling much better. Enjoying the sights, eating all the good food, taking the best photographs, giving the best poses, wearing the best clothes. I was totally in that happy zone. I went back to being my normal happy self. And that was great news. I can't even begin to tell you how a simple shift, a very simple thing that I did, I just started writing gratitude in my humble notepad in my phone. That created a shift of feelings, a shift of energy, and it put me in a completely different mind space, and it made me feel so much better. So the vibe that I was giving out to the universe also was very positive. Therefore, I was attracting it back into my life. Imagine if I didn't do that. I would have still been sulking in self-pity and the whole trip would have been like a wasted opportunity. So I'm really glad that I took this whole writing gratitude thing so seriously and it worked out so well for me. Now comes the second part of the video. Why did this work for me? Let me break this down for you. Studies show that when you give gratitude, when you feel that gratefulness inside you, irrespective of the situation, irrespective of the way you're feeling, that really creates a shift and it instantly makes you feel better. I can vouch for that. When you remember all the good things that happened to you throughout the day or in any particular situation, it releases these good happy hormones in your body like dopamine and serotonin, and that makes you feel much better. And that is how this whole thing works. Plus, since you're giving out all those good vibes to the universe, you are attracting it right back. So you get like a dual benefit by writing your gratitude. Just think of it like a gym for your brain. You just have to sit down in one place and the rest will just happen. How often do we sit down and actually reflect back and think about all the things that the universe has given us? Don't you think on some level we take it for granted? We always question God and the universe about all the things He has not given us. But do we actually acknowledge and appreciate all the things that the universe has already given us? Very few of us actually do. If we just spend 5 minutes a day thinking about how we have a roof over our head, we get to eat 3 meals a day, we have a degree that we can flaunt, we have a great job, we probably have a very nice spouse. If you actually think about it, there's just so much to be thankful for, but we don't really do it, do we? So it's time we change that. Let's take up a challenge. For the next 7 days, every single day, we'll sit down for 2 minutes and we'll write down our gratitude. You can use your journal, you can use the notes app on your phone, anyhow. The whole idea is to feel the gratitude inside of you. The medium of it doesn't really matter. All you have to do is just sit down and give gratitude for all the things that you have to the universe as a way of acknowledging and appreciating all the nice things that you currently have in your life. I'm not asking for much here. Just 3 things a day that you're grateful for. It'll hardly take you 2 minutes. And just see what a difference it makes to your life. I have tried it and it's worked wonders for me. Gratitude has the potential to change your mood instantly, irrespective of what situation you are in currently. For example, if you're stuck in this dead-end job with a horrible, mean boss and you want to get out of that situation, you want to attract a better job, a better line of work, a better company, then in that situation, you have to give gratitude for your current job. The job that you have right now, even if it's not that good, even if you're not enjoying it, it helps you pay your bills. So you have to acknowledge that. You have to be thankful for that one good thing that this job is giving you, or many other good things that you can think of. So you can write out the 5 best things about your current job. And simultaneously, you can start manifesting your new job. I'm sure there'll be something about your current job that is worthy of mentioning, that is worthy of being thankful for. So write that down. If you want to know how you can do that, I've made an entire video on that and I will link it for you in the I button. And yes, don't write gratitude just for the sake of writing it. Actually feel it in your heart. Feel that gratefulness with all your heart when you're writing to the universe. Think as if the universe is reading every little thing that you're writing. In another situation, if you're single currently, then try to find the best things about your single life. you can apply this in all walks of life. By the way, if you want me to make a video on how to manifest your dream partner using the law of attraction, or if you want me to dive deeper into any other topic, then let me know in the comments below and I will be more than happy to make that video for you. Check out my law of attraction playlist here and I will see you in the next one. Bye.